Welcome to the Undercover Guru podcast. I am your host, Kolawole Akinboye. This podcast is devoted to helping people discover and thrive in careers that bring out the best in them and help them to generate superior value for the world. You are going to spend a good chunk of your life working. I believe you should make the best out of it. Since we are just getting started, it would mean a lot to me if you would leave a review or share this podcast with your friends on social media. So let's jump right into it. This episode, we're talking about the lessons I've learned from my own career, and I have quite a few lessons. A little bit about me. I studied electrical engineering as an undergraduate, and I also did a business degree after graduation. I spent the last 15 years working in different industries, from telecommunication to manufacturing to energy to banking, and I've had a great time. So, the lessons I have for you today. Lesson number 1 is about the course you studied. I've spoken to quite a few people that think that the course they studied is the reason why they're not having a good career, that the course they studied is the mitigating factor for their success. I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter really. Some people think they studied courses or they are in a course that they are not passionate about and they are not sure they can make a success out of it. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter why you chose a course. What you do with it is what matters. I chose electrical engineering as a course, and I didn't choose it because I was passionate about engineering. I chose it because I wanted to please my dad and because electrical engineering just sounded like a cool course to do. And when I was in the university, I wasn't a very good student. I spent a big part of my time outside the lecture halls, playing and not being serious. I failed quite a bit. It's funny, my final year project was not good at all. I remember defending that project and I built something I thought was nice. But on the day of my project defense, right in front of the assessors, the machine refused to work. It didn't even come on. I got a very poor C for that project. So I probably would have thought I wasn't built to be an electrical engineer. But look at me today. I've spent so many years doing great work in electrical engineering. And whatever course it is that you've done or that you are doing, I'm here to tell you, you can make anything of the course as long as you decide that you're going to make a success out of it. Lesson number 2 comes from how I did not lose belief in myself. When I graduated from the university, I didn't finish with a great degree. And in Nigeria, you are only assured of a job if you finish with a very, very good degree. Most jobs I applied for at the time, there were up to 10,000, 20,000 people that were vying for maybe 2 or 3 positions. When I got my first good job and I resumed, the head of HR told us there were 100,000 people that applied for the job and they only hired about 54 of us. It was crazy. When you're in the kind of situation where you are competing with many, many people for one position, you really have to believe in yourself. You have to be sure that you are backing yourself every step of the way. That's the only way you can win. But look at it this way. There is nobody else that can believe in you more than yourself. Never lose belief in yourself. It is very important to continue to believe in and root for yourself. And that is what I did. After graduation from university, it is compulsory to spend a year serving your country as a Nigerian. And you would get posted somewhere the country would determine, and you would spend your time in a place you are posted to. Either teaching, serving in a local hospital, it depends. Whatever it is you are posted to do, you do. And that year, I was posted somewhere really far. I was many kilometers away from the economic centers of the country. Friends of mine were serving in places that were close to where the big companies were. They could showcase their skills close to the big companies. They could attend interviews. They could lobby for jobs. And I was stuck in one far away, dusty, nothing happening there kind of place. But I never lost belief in myself. I knew I was going to make it good. So wherever you are, even if you are just starting your career or you are right in the middle of it, or you are in a job that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, remember, don't lose belief in yourself. Nobody else can believe in you more than you. The next lesson I have is about work experience. My very first major work experience after I graduated from university was nothing close to what I wanted. When I started out, my first job after I graduated and after I had finished serving Nigeria for a whole year was something I didn't really like. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It was a customer service job in a telecommunications company, and I just wasn't cut out for customer service. I did not like the "how may I help you," listening to people complain on the phone. I just wasn't built for customer service. Some people love it. Some people are empowered by it. But me, I was just bored. I was bored out of my skull, and I just didn't want it. And I could have chosen to be sad and think, after spending so many years studying engineering, here I was picking calls, customer service agent. What would my friends say? Oh, there are people I know that are succeeding. They are doing great work. They are getting jobs in great places. Doesn't really matter. When starting out, getting work experience is key. Any kind of work experience. Sitting at home just doesn't cut it. The job might not be exactly what you want, but get that experience. It is important. For me, it worked to help me with my confidence. The job helped me to be more confident. It helped me to see structure. And it gave me a lot of connections with people that have helped me at different stages of my career. I made some very good friends at that job. The next lesson I have for you is this. Do not settle. Whatever you do, do not settle. When I got my first job, I could have made a career out of customer service. I could have moved from there to another department and made a kind of career for myself in that telecommunications company. But I said no, I was not going to stay here. I was not going to settle for this. I wanted to do something bigger. I wanted to do something else that would be more challenging. And I didn't settle to stay in there because I had gotten a cushy job in a big company and I would just stay comfortable. I refused to be comfortable. I refused to settle. I left that job 2 months before I got a job in a much better place, in the place I really wanted. And that is when my career really took off. It's a big lesson. I say it again. Do not settle. My next lesson has to do with changing jobs. For you that are listening to this podcast, I want to know when you should change from one job to another, or when you should move from where you are working to another place. I'll tell you this. Do not ever take decisions out of fear. Your spirit would know when you are done in a job. As Steve Jobs said, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Trust yourself. Listen to your spirit and take the next step as soon as you can. You would always know when you are meant to move. Trust yourself more. And that's what I'll tell you. My next lesson. Give your best wherever you work. Work as if the company belongs to you. It's the only way to have a great career. I've worked in various places. I've worked in many places. But there's one thing that would never be said about me. Is that I was lazy. I have never been lazy anywhere I've worked. I have only given the best of myself. Everywhere I've worked, as if the company belonged to me. And see, listen, the thing about life is what goes around comes around. If you are the type that is entrepreneurial and you start your own company one day, people are going to work for you the same way you worked for people when you were an employee. And there is no better way to get to the top than to give your best. People might be smarter than you, but make sure that they do not outwork you. My next lesson is this. Politics exists at work. Deal with it. Don't make it an excuse for your failure. Don't make anything an excuse for your failure. You have no reason to fail. And what is failure anyway? Failure is what you accept it to be. You are going to fail. You are going to send an email that will embarrass you. You are going to turn in work that is not as impressive as it should be. You are going to make a mistake at a meeting. You are going to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. You are going to look bad in a position. You are going to be demoted or something at some point. You are going to fail. Accept it now and determine how you will deal with failure. You are going to encounter politics at work. It might work for you, it might not work for you. But remember, it changes nothing about where you are going. Just make sure that whatever failure you encounter at work, you deal with it and you move ahead with life. That is what works. And my final lesson for today: the kind of bosses you have doesn't exactly matter. You learn from both good and bad bosses. Do not ever miss a learning opportunity because you are angry or bitter. I have had different kinds of bosses in my career. Some were good, some were not so good. There were bosses that believed in me. They saw my value, they saw my potential, they invested in me, they empowered me, and they encouraged me to be the best I could be. They gave me challenging assignments and they challenged me to be better. And they showcased my achievements in front of more senior people. And I also had bosses that took my achievements, stole it from me, hid good things from me, blocked my advancement, talked down on me, refused to help me grow, refused to give me the right opportunities to grow, did not recommend me for promotions. It didn't matter. And I'll say this: I probably learned more from my bad bosses than I did my good bosses. They showed me how not to manage when I became a boss. And I learned so well from them that when I became a manager, I tried to be a good one. I think you should not make your bosses an excuse. Make sure you are learning regardless of the kind of boss that you have. Let me leave you with this. You dream of having a great career. You dream of having a great life. But I'll tell you this: greatness is backing yourself and stepping out beyond the wall. Even though fear, heartache, disappointment, failure, and pain may inevitably try to choke the life out of you. Greatness lies in the ability to pick yourself up and not give up when life punches you right in the face. And that's something life does. It is going to punch you right in the face. It's left to you to stand up, dust yourself up, and determine that you're not going to give up. Never, ever, ever give up. The career of your dreams is right in your hands. You are the one that can make a success out of it. It's been great bringing this to you today. I hope I have empowered and taught you something new in some way. And I am very sure that you would have the career of your dreams. This is Kolawole Akinboye, and this is the Undercover Guru podcast. Thank you for listening. See you next time.